fuckers. Welcome back to the channel. It is currently 6:37 p.m. on June 19th, 2023. Wait, June 19th? Wasn't that the date of, like... That was the date in Dom I'm Scared, right? June 19th? Whatever. Um... Anyway, this is, Smoke Room, obviously. And... It's Cliff's update. Finally, I was waiting for this because I like Cliff. He's a good character. Anyway, let's just go into extras, go down to you, click here. Yes. Did you object to Murdoch joining the trip? No, I didn't, I'm pretty sure. Did you take the map? Actually, I'm pretty sure I did. Did you follow Cliff and Murdoch into the abandoned cabin, or did you stay outside with Avery and Jeb? Well, I did both, actually, but the first time, I went in there. Did you sleep with Murdoch at the huts? Yeah. Was Cliff, did you choose to keep... I guess I said yes. As Cliff, what did you say to Sayla and Yiska? I mean, I told them that they're fucking... that is going to go through the settlement. Cliff, what did you ask them to say to woman running the train post settlement? I said, why is it all... yeah, that one. Wait, who is... but what about Sam and Sayla in the cabin with the fucking thing outside? What? We're not gonna go back to that? I try to sleep in spite of the pain and the anxiety. Bugs chirping outside sound uncomfortably close, like there ain't much separating us besides stacked logs and flimsy glass. Okay, so this is Sam. Try not to listen to anything, lest I hear something I shouldn't. I hear soft snores coming from the fox in the chair. I'm impressed that he can sleep sitting up, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. He's still holding his gun. Now that I think about it, I thought they confiscated any weapons at the gate. Glad they didn't, or I'd most likely be dead. Shuffle against for a blanket on the couch and turn my head away from the window, trying to sleep again. I feel heavier. My eyelids droop and my chest heaves heavier. I sink deeper into the couch, thinking of one of Benton's piano pieces back at the hip. I drowned out the sound of the bugs and taps of wood against glass. I exhale. I'm awake, and I feel hot, bubbling pain on my leg that fades quickly. I look down, I see a welt at my foot that might be an insect bite. I'm worried it could be venomous because I didn't see what did it. But it's just itchy for now. Oh boy. Honestly, I feel like my sore throat is like probably gonna help a lot. No, it's not. When I have to do like deep voices, I'm gonna fucking suck at it. Oh boy. I don't hear Sayla's snoring anymore. Probably woke him up when I shook the couch. Okay, that actually gave me a jump. Jesus. Right, it's just him. Look on the chair, I can see that he's sitting there. Trouble. What was your voice? Trouble sleeping. Wait till my eyes adjust to the dark. Yeah. Losing sleep is a terrible thing. Some people say you can never get it back after you lose it. I think I can just barely make out the shape of his snout moving. It's your brain just gets strained and scrambled, and you never just get all of it back. You're not really helping me get to sleep. Who says I want to? Maybe I just want to talk right now. Feeling that surprising considering you rarely want to talk. Hear the chair creak as he adjusts himself in it. I can't see what he's doing, but he's moving around. You're a bit of a pervert, aren't you? What? Oh, it's not Sayla. I mean, you've seen plenty of things you're not supposed to see. But your hands and mouth in all sorts of places. His tone is that okay. And you put your mind and body at the mercy of others day after day. How's any of that your business? Because I'm all too familiar with that sort of person, Mr. Ayers. He's looking at me and his eyes are open. But something's wrong. Okay, so I'm right, it's not Salem. His eyes look like dark glass, but there's nothing much inside them. Nothing much but small lights shining brightly, burning far, far away. I think for a second that it must be his reflection, but I remember the windows are closed. The longer I look at him, the harder it is to make out anything else but the shine of his teeth and the glint of his eye. I don't like that. This is actually really creepy. I can imagine if I was reading this, like, and as of, like, without having to wait for it to release, this would honestly be really fucking uncomfortable. I mean, if it is now, it probably would be then. Where am I? Whatever is shiny must be coming from inside him. What kind of a stupid question is that? This is your house, ain't it? Somehow I know it's not his house. Because somehow I know that whoever I'm talking to ain't Selah. I want to play along without making any sudden moves, like this is a dream. And I'll wake up soon. But he looks left and right and toward me again. I've never been here before, but I followed something, and now I am. Did you follow me? He or it hums softly. Perhaps not. There's already somebody following you. Will he speak? Lets out a one-note laugh. Too shy. Oh well. You, though. He nods his snout. I do know you, though. Okay. What if this doesn't turn out to be who I think it is, and I'm giving them, well, would it really be a who if it's the entity like I'm thinking it is? No, I don't think it would be. I've seen you plenty. Where? He tilts his head. Don't you mean where and when? I don't suppose it matters. It's never fair when it happens to us, though, is it? He laughs again. It's something that sounds like choking more than laughter. I'm getting G-Man vibes from this. You tell me so every time I meet you. I haven't met you before. Oh, I've met you. Unfair, unfair, unfair. That's your tune every time I meet you, isn't it? Takes something out of his pocket. I hear a flicking sound. In the low light, I can see it swinging. You always have the gall to say it to me, in spite of your wealth of choices, and my lack of them. But you choose so poorly so many times. Who are you? It doesn't matter. I'm tired of telling you. Why are you here? What do you want with me? I suppose you're still not very smart yet. I already told you. I'm not here for any reason I can tell the knife and looks at his hands. These look like my hands, but I know that they are. Oh, it's John! Oh my god, it's John Begay. Okay, that's actually really fucking cool. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I haven't ever seen them before. From when he smiles. Maybe things will be different this time. Blinks with both of his eyes and the lights go out. Why are you awake? What? You should be sleeping. I thought I was. You're sitting up and staring at me in the dark like I'm a meal. We were talking. We are talking and you were asleep. I do not talk in my sleep. Yiskar Avery would have told me. Hey. Hear a growl in my own voice. I ain't making shit up. I'm sure you don't think you are. You're injured and lack restful sleep. Close your eyes and do not speak any more of this until the morning if you want to stay here. Bite my lip. His home, his rules. No more. I'm more than used to that concept. Well, holy shit. Okay, then. So once again, once again, it's really interesting because that was definitely John. It took me a bit to figure it out. He's like, I met you before. And then I was like, who is it? Is it Jack? And then he looked at his hand like, he's looking at my hand. I'm like, oh, it's John immediately because he was in a Seta as well. And I feel myself slipping away. There's birds outside. Noisy little fuckers. Pots and pans cling behind me, and I turn to see Salem mill about his kitchen. Smell fried eggs and hear him chopping something fast. He cups a handful of tubers and tosses into a pan, making it sizzle. Good, you're awake. It's a plate on the end table under the couch. Eat. Warm scent of wilted greens, fried starch, and fatty fish eats my face. Smells delicious, but I think I might need to go. Slide outside so it's safe to go. Nod made the motion to stand. Looks at me with a doubtful face as a sharp feeling stabs you on my leg. Shit! I smell your snot gone anywhere. Eat. He knows what happened. I shoot him a dirty look while I shuffle a bit of runny egg and squash it in my mouth. Runny egg, fucking nasty. Finishes me very quickly while I'm talking. Then he stands. I'm going to get Avery. Him? Just the mention of his name made me sure I still have the map. Don't remember if I looked for my bags in Cliff's room or not. Don't open the door for anybody, even if it sounds like me. I wouldn't need help getting back in. Don't think I could let anybody in even if I wanted to, unless I slip away to the door. All I wanted to do now was focus on finishing my breakfast. It was good, but the pain in my jaw and chest made it hard to swallow anything at first. When I checked one of the bags on me, the map's there. This is neat. I still really like this. Pretty sure that's where they were. It might be here. Probably at Providence because of the railroad, right? Yeah. Opened it to make sure it isn't damaged, and I breathe in relief when I see it isn't. It's not long before I hear scratching at the door. Flinch and scoot back when I see the door burst open, but it's just the fox. The elk follows behind him, looking a little more dour than before. Well, if it isn't Mr. Tibbet's bodyguard, shake my head. Jizz was for the journey here. Off the hook now. I hope he paid you well, at least. Bodyguarding's a frightful business. This isn't the first time I had to patch you up. Or my eyes. Saying it was a suspicious look. Doesn't know what Avery is talking about. Now let's see that leg. Pull out my pant leg and place it on the table. Avery's eyes widen a little. Well, I don't think it's broken, but that's definitely sprained. I have some cloth I can bind it with. Thanks, Doc. Sorry to say that I didn't bring a crutch in my bag. Shakespeare laughs his own joke. Thanks, Doc. Good, sturdy walking stick will do you just fine if you don't want to stand at somebody and down to will you something. Doesn't look better in a week or two, might need a closer look. Probably is a real professional to get their opinions. But I bet they'll just charge you a pretty penny to say keep it wrapped and no pressure on it. No, some like that is mostly common sense. It's out gauze and a pin from his bag and starts stressing my foot firmly but not too tight. Sailor retreats to the kitchen, cleaning pots and scraping waste into the fire. Looks and sounds a bit more cheerful than when he first came in. So, what have you been doing around the settlement yesterday? He grunts. Let's not talk about such things in Yiska's house. Thoughts eyes linger over my chest. Wow. Looks like you had a lot more excitement than me. There's a lot of small cuts I'm seeing too. And larger bruises. Talks to Sayla in the Masada languages. You know, I wish you would actually make a fucking conlang for this or something. Because that would be fucking cool, but no, too much work, I guess. Sayla shakes his head before responding with sounds like only a few words. So it was only the two of you together last night? Yeah. Doesn't say anything for a while, so he keeps stressing my foot. I was supposed to be back in Echo a few days ago. Another delay is going to be bad. I can't go out after dark, and there's not much else I can do but wait. In 2 days, I still plan to make the trip to Camp Rosa with Yiska. Okay, so that explains it. We're in Providence then. Yep. Are you still willing to take me? Going there shouldn't be a problem with the size of a cot. You'd have to ride. I don't think you'd keep up with us on foot. And it wouldn't be comfortable, but that would be possible. Bag of the car it is then. You just can't come back with us since our cart won't be empty. Trust me, that ain't a problem. Regardless, it's something to think about for later. As of right now, let's pick out a walking stick. Sayla and Avery walk over, talk to each other as Avery rises, giving me his arm to help me lean on him and stand. We all exit the cabin and Sayla locks the door behind us. Sayla walks off in one direction without a word to me. Where is he off to so fast? He's meeting Yiska near the apiary. Apiary. No, so like bees. Bees. What? It's a bee farm, yet only gets gathered there. I want to express gratitude for what he did for me last night, but what happened after that still unnerves me. Your storefront will be there too. The Reverend is letting him in. How did you know that? Well, I saw him and Yiska come back from the mesa this morning. While you were doing what? Just looking for the right pile of rocks, based on what the elders who still live here could tell me. Pine needles crunch beneath our feet, lean on Avery until we find a clearing with lots of fallen branches and dead saplings. There's a sweet smell that lingers in the air, most likely from all the smoke of a small settlement waking up. Alliteration is fun, along with the scent of fine sap. I know there's not a whole lot of places I can be with guards around. Feel my chest clench a bit. So you were looking for your sister. Where they put her body at the very least. Picks up a few sticks, swinging them for slides and checking them for rot. Did you find it? I think so, but I can't be sure. Graves are unmarked, but there's certainly something beneath the rocks. It wasn't going to disturb anybody's resting place to confirm if it was his or hers or not. Again, I'm sorry. Wasn't expecting to find her anyway. But it's difficult ever to know the exact place. He hands me 2 sticks. Well, if your leg can test them. Bark is gone, so it's easy enough to hold on to both of them and sling my way through a triangular stance. They're working. They should hold you for at least a week if you're careful. Some of the wood is still green. Right. Now that you're mobile again, I figure I had mentioned that your travel companions were looking for you yesterday. Were they? We've seemed pretty preoccupied, if I remember right. Jeb and the Fox expect you back in your room. They look pretty concerned. God, why doesn't Oliver just shut the fuck up for once? I fucking hate that dog. I figure it's early enough that they should still be at the inn your Stoat friend checked in at. I thought Jeb was staying with you. For a night, but I need to be alone for a spell. Much tenser here than he was in the woods. I heard this argument with the Stoat, though. Fox seemed to manage to smooth things over some, but I know his mane is still caught in a few knots. You should probably tell your traveling companions when you head off by yourself for private business. Looks out into the woods. Considering the circumstances, wouldn't want them getting hurt searching for somebody who might not want to be found. Know what I mean? Yeah, I do. Alright then. I'll check up on your injuries before I leave, but I need to get back to Echo sooner rather than later. Keep your nose clean until then. Madam would be pretty cross with me if she knew I ran into you and came back too beat up. You ain't responsible for me, and I can't let you know that I don't intend to go back to Echo. Don't waste any time looking for me if I can't be found. If I cross back, you can tell me that's great and good, but you already done more than enough. And don't need a fuss at you on account of my own choices. She's usually understanding. My God, that dog needs to die. Just go outside. Just go outside, and he can bark all he wants out there, not in the fucking house. He nods his head. Till next we meet. I nod. In the woods, he whistled while he walked away, but I still find that Sam is deciding to go along with his plan of escaping Echo a bit interesting. I mean, obviously, that's been his entire plan for the entire game, but still. It's not gonna work, I'll just say that. It can't work, otherwise Echo doesn't happen. That dog needs to shut up. In the woods, he whistled while he walked away, but now he stays quiet, increasing his distance until he disappears between the pine trees. I know it's not his fault, but the way he talks about going back to Echo puts me on edge. He's been nothing but friendly to me, friendly and helpful to me, but I can't help but think about how much he knows about me and how freely he talks about it. He treated my injuries the day I killed Jack. He knows the direction I went and the direction I'll go when it comes to running away. Some part of me knows it's terrible, but I'd surely breathe a little easier if he never made his way back to Echo. Do not tell me that this is how his moral spiral starts. Don't fucking tell me he kills Avery. I mean, that would be fucking, like, really interesting characterization, but I don't want to see it happen. Or at least delayed long enough to make it far, far away, even from the station at Camp Rosa. Let my injured ankle off the ground and put my weight on the walking sticks. I have to hobble a bit before I get a feel for using them. But I make steady progress toward the direction of the inn. How the fuck are you gonna go upstairs? The innkeeper barely looks at me as I make my way through the front door and I struggle up the steep stairs. Thankfully, the railing is sturdy. When I get to the front door of a room, I accidentally lose my footing and my body thuds against the wood. Coming. Hear the sound of Murdoch's voice and the sounds of scribbling through papers on a desk before a chair pushes out and somebody's footsteps get closer. Door opens. I can see the fox's expression shift from relaxed to nervous. God, I love Murdoch a lot. He's, like, honestly the only character in this book I might even consider digging. Oh, Sam. Looks me up and down. Really that you're bad, but what happened? He's out the door to make room for me. Hobble my way to the bed less than graciously, and I see Jeb sitting on the bed across from mine. Used to him being calm, but he looks pretty disturbed looking at me. The hell happened to you? How foolish to mess with the wrong farm animals. His muley doesn't quite believe me. Give him a look back that I'm not exactly trying to hide my lie, more than I'm not going to talk about it. Why exactly are you asking anyway? How you left? Jib looks about to say something, but Murdoch butts in. He came back once I showed him that our issues in the forest weren't his fault and that Cliff was going to pay him in full. Grimace a bit. And Cliff agreed all that then? Cliff isn't stupid, Sam. He knows that if we want to go back home, then we're going to need a guide. Frankly, I wouldn't want to take a spectacle either if I were our guide and weren't giving my paw up front a proper apology. Not that delicate. So long as I might pay guaranteed both ways, there won't be a problem. We're not gonna look. Yeah, you're certain this isn't gonna blow back in your face. I made tough bargains, so yeah, I'm pretty confident. Nod slowly and sigh around the back of my head and pulling a piece of twig out of my fur. Jay, would you mind stepping out for a moment? There's something private I want to talk with Sam about. Don't need to tell me twice. Sits up and straightens his cap. There's something he talked to Avery about. Remember, Avery said he wanted to be alone, and I mean to stop him, but he's out the door before I can muster up a call deep enough to hear. Murdoch starts pacing about the room. Can you quit walking like that? Fuck you, Sam. I do that too, and it's because I have fucking autism. It's a fucking stip. Jesus, dude. Makes me nervous. Dobson takes a look at me. You're nervous? I thought you were gone for good last night. I want to think so. What if I was? But that's probably not fair. I'll let you know before I go. Makes me look like I'm loony. You're still gonna try and go off on your own after it looks like you got tossed around and mangled. All I can do is shrug. Where I go with my own business. The longer I stay here in this little settlement, the less safe I'm gonna feel. On my way to Camp Rose as soon as possible. What if I told you nowhere was as safe as you think? That's a weird thing for to hear him say. I'd say it sounds like you're looking for an excuse to keep me around. So you admit you're not even gonna try to come back with us to Echo? Not unless you're interested in packing up with me and heading north. I have too many obligations to do something like that. So now we're starting to understand one another. Both have places to be and obligations to fulfill. If you walk out of here, I can almost guarantee you're not going to make it. Aim forward, my bad. You threatening me? Why, the opposite. Looks over this, pulls out one of the shelves and pulls a photograph from the shelf. Do you recall that Callie had taught we made of Mr. Tibbet stand on the rock? Feels like forever ago after what we'd been through. Yeah, I want those dogs to fucking die. I want them to die so fucking bad. God, they need to shut up. That feels like forever ago after what we'd been through. Sorta. I got the change to freeze the image. Flip the photo over. Then take a look. Do what he says and hold the picture in my hand. Well then. Like, I didn't even realize Cliff was in the image and wow, I was so focused on that thing. It looks like some kind of hybrid between a bear and a wolf. Maybe a bison? I don't know. What the... Looks like something big. Something wrong and contorted about its face. The longer I look at it, the more I can almost smell the corpses of Jeb's donkey. It like has the face of a wolf and the body of a bear or bison. It's fucking... Ugh. There's some kind of magic trick. You think I have the time and the bedroom to pull something like that? People are missing, cargo is destroyed, now you're injured. But we didn't say anything like this when you took this picture. And yet it was clearly right there. Well, it's gotta be some kind of wild animal, right? Can you think of any wild animals that turn invisible and tear a pack animal to shreds in minutes? Voice is shaking a bit. Whatever this thing is, it could be anywhere at any time. far as I'm concerned, the only safety there is safety in numbers. I feel my ears lower, my eyes widen. Oh God. Cliff went off on his own last night for research, didn't he? He's one of Avery's friends. We need to find him and tell him about this. Do you think he's fine? Of course. He's with Avery's friends. There's a surety and a confidence in his face that makes me feel better. There's a small shadow of his face that makes me feel otherwise. Like he's scared. Absolutely terrified. So I grab my walking sticks and make myself stand. Let's go find him. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, that thing isn't particularly scary looking to me, but yeah, the fact that it can turn invisible and tear something to shreds that fast, yeah, that's fucking terrifying. Throughout my long nights and all my bitter travels, it wasn't until last night that I thought, my God, maybe this really was all worth it. Okay, yeah, this is Cliff. I saw families gathering on the mesa. The beatific joy and the good-natured laughter and the colors borrowed from the gutter itself were not something my grandfather, not all the scholars of Europa could begin to dream of. No, I am a stranger in their midst, but after just one night I do not feel this way. Dare not share it. Big Humble Bear smiled at me as we walked. Did you sleep well, Mr. Tibbets? His accent is quite thick, but his grammar is wonderful, so I can still understand what he says. So we must have the same, considering Albion isn't my first language either. Oh, better than ages, really. On the rocks and furs. I'd have thought your fur soft or western style, bed like at the inn. Pause on my hips. And I know that might look precious, but I can assure you that I'm used to roughing it up just as much, if not more, than some of my companions. Found out last night that his role in his community was far more important than I initially knew. Leading the first night of one of the chants. Just thankfully willing to accompany me through the settlement and help me get my bearings. That chant will go on until another night, so I do not think we'll find many others in the village to talk to. Another night? Heard of such practices before, but it's a bit different to think about when you just spent most of the previous day participating in one. Yes, that's one of the shorter chants. Sometimes they're longer. What's the longest one you can remember? He pauses. 7 days. That's so long. He chuckles. Sometimes there's a lot to cover. I walk and turn to give him a quick bow. Making you leave a chant early in my code would leave a stain on my conscience. In my presence is intruded upon your interrupted your way of life anyway. I have to humbly apologize. Bear smiles and scratches the back of his head. Sort of chant we'll do whenever we feel the need for it. There'll be others like it. And you know, we've had anthropologists visit us for decades. Some stay for much longer than a mere week, at least since the Treaty of 1868. Sometimes, we get so used to them living in the community and asking questions as a joke, that they, as a joke, become considered part of the family. That's so nice. It's nice, really. Don't necessarily mean it's ideal for everybody. Oh, of course. Just more so as a peculiarity that we've had to get used to. Anthropologists like you have aided missionaries in a group effort to translate and record our language and our beliefs. But that doesn't mean they are respected or valued more than as a curiosity. I see. Are there words that haven't been translated yet? Yes. Especially ones they already have words for. But we have our own names for wildlife and flowers. They are customs we do not feel comfortable sharing, too. Pointing nearby oak tree that's sitting next to the church. Could I kick a name for that? Bear smiles and clears his throat. I hear him say something along the lines of Alona, but I can't be certain. Quite the odd couple you make. Oh great, it's this fucker. This fucking bigot. Codwell is standing outside of the church. You're late again. Take a look at my pocket watch. Only 15 minutes. Griffin rolls his eyes. Consistent at least. 15 minutes may be nothing to you, but the children on our skit. Oh, that's still him. Uh, 15 minutes may be nothing to you, but the children are on a schedule. Given that the nature of your thesis centers on work, I thought it would be pertinent to show you the sustainability of this supplement starts with school. Oh, great. Fucking great. We're gonna be dealing with this fucking brainwashing. Cultural erasure in this fucking terrible ass piece of shit. I hope it gets torn apart by that fucking thing. It's empty right now, and he leads us through a corridor on the left side of the crucifix-shaped building. Yeah, my god, shut the fuck up, dog. Leads to a long room furnished modestly. Several dozen boys and girls dressed in white shirts and black pants are looking over Bible scripture, copying specific passages into... Yeah, cultural erasure and fucking, oh, you have to learn this because it's the right way to live, blah, 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 blah. Fucking disgusting. Really fucking up this dickwad gets torn apart. Doesn't look that different from my schooling experience, aside from the fact that everybody here is much better behaved. Though it strikes me his eyes look quiet. Back in my school days, there would be whispers and giggle-bleating patriots, and even the quietest of study halls on occasion. Here the room is only filled with the sound of scratches on paper and the bubbling of ink, yeah. Because they are being forced to do this. That's the entire fucking disgusting point of this. Trying to civilize them, or whatever the fuck that even means. Fuck this entire fucking thing that happened in history. I fucking cannot stand. Easy and guaranteed lunch and morning meals that they would have otherwise miss are provided. Shut the fuck up, you cocksucker. Access to book and writing tools are also ensured. Turns to me suddenly, and his room flutters with a sharp turn. Do you have questions or concerns so far? Not really. Based on every strip at his sister, I expect to see starvation, conditions, illnesses, injuries, or devices of misconduct. Like they would show you that. Like they would fucking show you that, sure. Everything here looks incredibly ordinary. God, Cliff, you sweet summer child, you don't fucking know anything, do you? I could easily see myself attending a school not like this in Batavia. My parents been poor. The calming suggestion was willing for the two of us to follow him still. Every child must learn to read and write if you pursue scholarly paths in isolation. Oh yeah, scholarly. It's most likely just, oh, you must blah blah blah, garbage. Clear to strange students store it with their hands just as well as their minds. Nor the outside we feel we entered the building. But we come upon a field with bright green grass and the sky is crystal blue. Goodness gracious, it's difficult to conceal my excitement. There's wild flowers and fruit trees of many varieties placed perfectly into snug raised beds. Low drone comes from boxes and boxes of honeybees aligned in rows like soldiers. I can hear them even from far away. I can see them flit to and fro like fairies with iridescent wings, wriggling their wee, fuzzy bodies free from pollen as a pixie would stardust. Bees could be considered the forerunner of a self-sufficient civilization. Fuck off. Actually, technically, yeah, because pollination and basically our agriculture is when civilization really first started. Without bees, you don't have that, so, yeah. Without them, the flowers wouldn't breed. Without them, the fruits wouldn't grow. They live in harmony, communing with others to serve their queen, bringing life. Ugh. There is a nobler creature than the humble honeybee. I'm pretty sure there is, but what the fuck ever. One is still wiggling its butt. Iska can show you how they are tended. How truly? Mew is one of my best students. I don't like you. That is why he still stands to the bees and is granted privileges here and there for his ongoing toils past graduation. They are appreciated, Reverend. Though you do have your helpers, don't you? Is just like me. Takes particular tactics and temperament to command respect. Take notes from him, Mr. Van Howlink. Turns to go and then doubles back. Oh, and if you finish with the bees early, do show him some carpentry as well. Yes, Reverend. Barrack sells when Caldwell is gone. I take it you never collected honey before. I should say not. Well, I'd never forgive myself if I crushed them by accident. I made a mess of all the precious honeycomb. Besides, sting is hurt. We have many ways to protect you from that. Here, come to the shed. Jump over the whitewashed shed with a padlock. Gus unlocks it and lifts a huge heavy latch with several bars. Very secure for a shed. Inside there's hats with nets tied to the brim and thick, hardy gloves made of reinforced canvas. The fuck is going on? There's an entire suit made of the metal too. Material, Jesus. You can try the bee suit on if you need full protection. Hardly necessary. If my paws and peepers are covered, it's more than ample protection for me. Grab the hat and gloves then. No need to put them on yet. Right. Just gonna pull some off a barrel and looks like a metal can with bellows attached behind it. There's a long metal tip that's stopped with a cork. I don't know if they had this technology, but they probably did. What am I saying? I don't know a lot about this Puritan history. My main area of interest and my main area of expertise is like the 18th century, and that's mostly just in like France and other European countries. So I really don't know a lot about this period. But yeah, this is the stuff they used to drug the bees, so they're less aggressive. What kind of a contraption is this? It's a smoker. Takes the lid off and shows me a hollow well inside the metal can. We can start a flame with cardboard and pine needles. It burns inside. We can puff out the smoke using the spout and the billows. Why do you need to make smoke? Makes the bees docile. Pulls the piece of cardboard off the shelf and rolls into a little band. Then he takes the lighter from his pocket, ignites it, and puts it in the smoker. You leave the shed, locking it behind us. The bear leans over to strip dry pine needles off the floor, stuffing it into the smoker. Oh, it's metal. Duh, that's why it doesn't burn. Takes a while to do this, stuffing more pine needles in than I thought possible. But yeah, pine needles definitely give off like, a lot of smoke. Trust me, when you live in Georgia and there's fucking pine straw over the fucking floor of the fucking world, you'd know that. Eventually closes the top and squeezes the billows a few times, generally puffs a concentrated smoke and then direction out the spout. You want to put the netting on? I do. Bear squeezes. Oh, that's cool. I mean, obviously at this point, I wouldn't doubt that the Echo Project would be able to do something like that, but it's still cool to see. Bear squeezes the billows and aims a nozzle at the opening of the box where the bees are climbing out. Puffs of smoke shoot their way into the boxes, and the droning gets louder. I thought you said it's supposed to calm down. Give him 5 minutes. Look into the distance. See a young squirrel in this school outfit nailing planks together. An older male dog monitors her. The shape of it reminds me of all the flower beds around us. To resist asking to get involved. Only wait. Is it true that what the Reverend said? That the kids like you? Bear blinks. They can see that I'm strong and can do some things they can't yet. That often impresses children. Right, but he said they like you. Did they tell you much about their experience in the school? No more, I already know. So what do you know? Rewards come if you behave. Consequences come if you do not. Consequences like what? Weren't you punished in school when you didn't obey your teachers? I've had my paw slapped with a ruler more times than I would like to count. He nods. I'm treated well when I keep to myself when I listen. I see. Rips his brow. Bees should be calm by now. There's a word to lift the box. Bees are all jittering, moving slower than they were before. Oh my god, my skin is crawling now. I fucking hate all just stinging insects in general. I genuinely fucking hate them. They fucking scare me. He pulls out a wooden sheet that's covered on one side by drowsy-looking bees and a thick golden highlight pattern of hexagons. Oh, that's beautiful. And here's a distinct smell, too. Smelled shyly of honeysuckle. There was a strong melony scent of saguaro flowers within. I have no idea what those smell like, but I know what honeysuckle smells like. Beautiful. As the Reverend said, that's just the miracle of bees. All honey is just bee puke. It's really not a miracle. He scrapes off a nugget of waxy honeycomb and holds it out in my paw. Try it. Pick it off of a stool and pop in my mouth. The crunch is followed by the bright floral taste and it melts in my mouth. I let it lick all out my fingers makes the bear start laughing. What? It's good. Just Bicky isn't more delicate either. Not when I'm ravenous. Forgot that we didn't even eat breakfast. My stomach grumbles. You show me over for now. Sudden draught blows in and it blows soft ripples over the grass. Trees rustle. I feel the cool air against my skin and smell the honey hovering over me. Oh, this is interesting. I'm honestly kind of surprised they're giving me the choice to make Cliff like complacent with this. To be honest, that's more in line with his character, but there's too many implications which concern me. Whereas a school like that would seem normal to me. I've never known much difference, but it's different for the people who live under the thumb of this country. Well, sweet honey might taste how beautiful the land is, these people with art still aren't given a choice in the matter what this country tries to do with them. See, I plot my own board of beeswax out of the eye, but a sound disturbs the peace. Someone barks out a call from the wheat field behind us. Funny, dog just barked and that happened. We both turn around, my heart sinks a bit to see Sayla. I can tell he doesn't much care for me, but I don't want to cause any trouble. Starts talking in the Miseta language. I don't know if he knows, but I can understand him. I can make out injury, beast, white, corpses. Sayla is pointing over to something in the cornfield, and Yiska's looking back. I can translate the bear's response to something close to, "Are you sure?" Sayla undeniably says yes several times. What are you two talking about? Sayla sucks through his teeth. You should know. Now what? Mox gives me a dirty look, but the bear gives me one that makes him stand down. Follow. We go off for a few minutes toward the center of the cornfield. I hear bees swarming. Oh, fuck this. Fuck this, mate. Fuck this shite. Or at least things that look like... things that look... What? Bee flies. Oh, right, yeah. I've seen those before. They are swarming a chunk of meat on the ground. Looks like what remains of a pack mule, and I want to retch. Yeah, honestly, me too. This is awful. How did it die? This isn't the only one. 5-pin pack animal slaughter last night, and I've seen 2 so far. Is this the work of that animal that was chucking us in the wood? What does this mean? Sayla says something. Sounds an awful lot. Like, no way out on foot or cart. What does he mean by that? Don't concern yourself. I think I have a right to be concerned. We hear the voice of Arvin walking through the field in a surprisingly rapid gait. I could hear all the way across the cornfield that you both weren't speaking Albion. What's this commotion all about? Yiska suddenly looks very anxious. Sayla spits on the ground and turns away. Address me, Sayla Begay. He keeps on walking as he disappears into the cornfield. And man is out of order. Fuck you, you cocksucker. I hope you die. Bogus brave, your reverend. Talk to him tonight. No, you fucking won't. I'll kill you first. I'm less concerned with him than I am with you, Yiska. I know that you were not speaking alien with him. It was urgent. Old habit, nothing. Oh. I keep getting them confused. I think that that's like the Miseta language, but no, it's not. Yeah, this is fucking disgusting. I wasn't picking up on it for a second, but I really hate this fucker. But that I thought had died, Yiska. Fuck off, you cop. Oh my god. You know what we must do. Come along, Mr. Tibbets. Not sure what's going on right now, but they're both tense. Come along where? To the sink, where else? I want to fucking kill you. It is small lean-to against the church with a sink and a spigot. Caldwell pulls out a bow and his produces a white. Oh my god. This fucking cocksucker. Bear's looking directly at him. Yes, Reverend. I'm not sure what's happened from it, but I don't like it one bit. Reverend, what is that? Fucking stop him. No, you can't! As I blew from out where I can stop them. From tilts his head at me and stares. I can't do what, Mr. Tibbets? Looks annoyed like I'm some sort of petulant child making a scene or to point out what he's doing is dangerous. Why is toxic? Can leave chemical burn inside of his mouth. Reverend, please. Face looks very calm. Too calm. Don't pay him any mind. I have this. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Sorry, there's a watcher to take the bear with very little hesitation and put it in his mouth. Reverend nods and places his wing on it like. Despite forced tears, Jessica looks up with a determined facial expression. He heaves as he can. I want to punch you. Please punch him. I want to say something when I start. The bear looks at me with the first flash of anger I've seen in his eyes. He's angry at me. What were those two of these men talking about, Mr. Tibbets? Does he want me to lie? Does he want me to tell the truth? I don't. Please give me the choice. Please give me the choice. This is horrible. Oh, fuck off. I wanted to fucking lie. Fuck this person. He doesn't deserve to know anything. Fuck you. Something about corpses, I think. Something from the woods might be killing all the stock animals. Caldwell looks at me like I've lost my mind. All of the stock animals? Turns to Yiska. Go home and clean yourself up. Leave us. Mumbles something like, yes, Reverend, but it's difficult to tell what he really said. Caldwell takes a good look at me as if I'm a child who dragged mud into his house and trembles. Cornelius Van Howling. When would you step into it? It's nothing but insubordination, instigation. Oh, good. Good. Fucking good. You don't deserve anything but that, you cock. Oh my god. But I haven't done anything, Reverend. Doesn't matter if you did. Certainly somebody you brought along. Made a loyal man clean his mouth and dealt with blood for the first time in 15 years. These are extraordinary circumstances in the most nefarious sense. I hope you die. Grabbed by the shoulder and dragged me to the whitewashed shack. Just lugging throws me in. Move the shit you're probably wearing at once. Sir, this is a gross overreaction to any sort of offense I could have afflicted you with. You shall quarrel with me at once. I'll be reporting to either my father or Mr. Hendricks. The screen door covered in bars. Commander looked back at me angrily, ready to quarrel, but that's not the case. Back is to him and he's running away. What? Tried to open the door, but I know it's locked from the outside. He thuds uselessly against the sound of shaped metal. Caldwell! Come back here at once, Caldwell! Oh boy. Turn around the door, it's just too heavy. I already notice how warm it is in here. Sweat, I'm trying to panic, but I haven't had and drank any water in hours. Banging again, hoping to see the man or the little girl who was out on the lawn. But I hear nobody. I was like, I'm already wet. I feel a little dizzy now. Just try not to pant. Wait a second. No, that wouldn't make any sense. This wouldn't be where the town hall was in Echo. No, but like this looks like that shack. In Flynn's right, I don't remember, but yeah. I don't know. Most of the things here are shovels, pots, and protective clothes. I can see that there's something behind this counter. A hand shovel. Look at the floor in sign relief. Dirt. Building myself out. I have to be careful not to waste energy or moisture. I got outside again for anybody. Help! Help me! I'm stuck in a shack. Oh boy, nobody's still. So that's it then. Gonna have to dig around, look for the clearest space against the wall I can find. Scoop over very warm, very dry, except a cloud of dust. I determined not to hail any. Below that, I'm happy to feel a cooler layer. Not as tough to move as I thought it would be. There's a lot of it. I think I see where the wall of the shack ends and the beginning of the earth starts. Then I see concrete blocks. Heart sinks, knowing enough to dig deeper. There's no time to waste. Can't tell how long I do this for. The lighting outside is chained, and I still hear nobody. Stand up and check for you ever so often. Nobody comes on the lawn. Caldwell must have instructed them not to. Rail deal ambitions or no, this behavior is not acceptable. One of the first things I intend to do out of breaking out of this godforsaken cage is find a telegraph machine. Why everything I know to my father, Mr. Hendricks? Do not scoop, then another. Thought I was on a scoop 400 or so, but I started to lose count in 300s. Everything goes sideways when I start to breathe. Really thirsty. Take another scoop and flinch when you're a clang. What? Dig as clear as I can with both hands. No! There's a mixture of rock and concrete below. I can't get out. Dirt was poured on top of the rocks and concrete. What is the purpose of this? Heart's beating faster. Starting to feel dizzy. I throw down the trowel in frustration, but the side catches the side of my neck. Ugh! An awful noise comes out of me. I start to breathe a little. Oh, it doesn't look that deep. You! Wash yourself clean and come out of the dirt, you fool. Don't you say another word. Don't you say anything until you lock this door. Relax. There's the key in front of me. I'll let you out. I have to answer some of my questions. What questions? Like who amongst your party would have the strength to cleave the head off a packnell to slice you up into one blow? Breeze. You couldn't possibly blame me for that. Sits me up and down again, then scoffs. Certainly not you directly. What about that mountain lion? He might be big enough. Sam? I don't think Sam knows how to use weapons. Besides, if he could, I don't think he'd take something's head off. And what would? We found 8 carcasses already. 8? 8! If I don't stop who's doing it before long, we won't have any long-distance transportation out of the settlement. Without a station, and supplies will be behind schedule for our exports. Why'd exports matter if you're self-sustaining? Because there's no harm in skimming some of the cream off the top here and there. Imbecile. You're terrible. No. I simply live in the real world. Your father mentioned that you don't, and I see what he means. My father? What do you mean? He said you're a little funny. Perhaps not formed quite right. God. Can't be trusted to make necessary choice for the good of yourself, your family. No, he didn't. It's a bit harsh to me when I first heard it. Thought to myself, certainly our God's creations are made as he intended. Seems as though you're hell-bent on establishing something other than what God made you. Fucking Christ. What on earth is this Clifford Tibbets nonsense? Who told you about that? Didn't share that with him. Who hasn't? Don't you know that people talk? You really think the conversations you hear with the people are sealed into small boxes only you can open with the right key? He laughs. Try not to cry. Really think becoming a different man is as simple as putting on club makeup and wearing your father's belt? You don't hire stories by what you walk, your gait, your tone, your letters, and the impressions the men of character have sent to me in private. People have been talking terrible at you for a long time before I even met you, and I can see now, right before me, that they are exonerating their honesty. Who's been talking? My father, my mentor, my traveling companions, my employer. Is it all of them? I want to kill you. Why are you being this cruel? The more I talk, the more I fear my voice trying to get any voice out. Tongue is parched, my throat is sore. So dizzy right now from the sickness and this unbearable weight that I feel in my body. I can't see straight. Shakes his head. Fuck you. Pulls the key from his pocket. Hear a giant thud like a tree fall. Fuck yes. Fuck yes, he got fucking knocked out and died. Please. Caldwell screamed. Yes! Get away! Get away! Oh boy, fuck yeah. Fuck yes! Fuck yeah. Fuck him. He's fucking dead. Yes! Can't see what's going on, but I hear a tearing noise. For some reason, I start to hear the bees again, or at least something that sounds similar to the bees. Caldwell screams more. See through his slat in the bars that he's on the ground. His wing is bent the wrong way, and his breathing is rapid. Yeah, fucking suffer. Yeah, your God wouldn't help you even if he was real, motherfucker. His voice is different. Sounds wrong. At least inhale him when he speaks. I position myself to look outside. Don't see anything, but I hear breathing. Soft, slow breathing. I want to back away from the door, but don't make any noise. Though whatever out there is strong. It could rip the door open. Might even already know that I'm here, just waiting to rip off the door. Don't know how long I stand there listening to Caldwell cry out in pain or listen for breathing sounds that I can't tell I'm hearing or imagine anymore. But it gets darker. Nobody knows that I'm here but the priest, and he can't get up. Just as I start to cry, I hear a whistling sound. In the mist, I see somebody big walk this way. They have horns. The light of the moon reflects off their glasses. Heart swells up when I see Doc. Hey, fucking hell. Oh, thank God. I go out to him. I'm saved, but I can't make a sound. Voice is shot. Airy, breathy, rasping sounds are all I can make. Huh? What do we have here? Looking like you're in real bad shape, Reverend. Broken arm. Broken rib. Half collapsed slum by the sound of you, I wager. Hate to move you. Cause any internal bleeding you might have to get worse. Prince shakes his head, terrified. Sorry, but I can't tell what you're saying. See there and look in my direction like he's asking me for help. Fuck you. Watches me from a squatting position. You know, if you want to help, all you have to do is ask, Reverend. That doesn't sound much like Albion to me. He's thrashing on the ground now. Breathing gets a whole lot worse. Guess I can't help those who don't know how to ask. Stands up straight, watching the heron writhe. God, this fucking... Oh, hell yes. Fuck you. But you do know what the... Do you want to know what the worst thing about all this is, Reverend? Heron is spasming in the wrong way now. With enough time, they'll just send another one of you who looks the same and acts the same. But I'm comfortable now knowing that you're the one who put the soap in her mouth. Wipes his glasses. Have a good night, Reverend. Just his backpack. I know I will. He starts to whistle, and he starts to walk away. Panic again. I cry out to him, trying to force a noise, but there's no... Bang on the door! Take the trowel and bang on the door, hoping he hears something. Heart leaps as his ears pick up. He looks left and right. He starts to run. He's running because I scared him. He's so far away now. To think again that I'm really going to die here. Then I wonder who I'm going to die as. Will people remember who I wanted to be? Will any of them see me as I saw myself? Probably not. Or to wonder what my tombstone will look like. Reads just Cornelis. It's buried nowhere near the rest of my family. I want to think that coming here was a mistake. But staying home would have been a mistake too. Mistake is me. Jesus fucking Christ. Professor Tibbets? Here's Sam. Must be hallucinating. Why are you beating that door with a shovel? Looking for you all day. Sam, there's stains in the ground over here. I don't care about that right now. I found Professor Tibbets. He sort of smells that. What are you doing in there? I speak again, but it hurts. It was locked. Why do you sound like that? Sam, there's a scrap of cloth. There's a scrap of cloth over here. It looks like a clergyman's robe. I think it must have belonged to that priest. You sure? It has to be. You think something might happen to him? Not with the other animals the gods keep finding? He was all right. But something might happen to him if this is on the ground. That's too bad. I didn't know him. Being there with the shovel to get his attention. Whoa there, partner. Come on down, we can figure out a way to get you out. Try to shout key. I think his lips are saying K. His keys on a ring over here in the dark. The door again, desperately. Murdoch steps in closer and winces. Oh God, I was dehydrated. He put the keys with a momentarily heavy latch lift. Stumble out and Sam catches me. Something's wrong with him. I need to get him back to the hotel as soon as possible. Flips me onto his shoulder and but something is off. He's holding onto two sticks and he's using only one of his legs. Murdoch is offering his leg as sport, but we're walking like contestants in a race. One is tied to his ankle. Easy enough, he's lighter than his luggage. Bury my face in his chest with myself floating. There are brushes in the distance, the wind, the chirp of the crickets, and then it all gets muffled again. I feel somebody pouring something down my throat. Hurts at first. Once I start drinking, I'm desperate for more. Slow down or else you'll chip the mug. Also, don't drink too much water because then you'll fucking die. I sit up in bed. A damp rug falls on my head and some of the water in the mug spills on my chest. It's a funny story. I think I've told this story before, but it was this weird one that I read about where these people, like, it was during the Wild West part of history in America, and they were going around exploring the place, and they got stuck in a cave with no water, but they eventually found, like, a fucking hot spring or something, and they started drinking, and they all died because they fucking drank too much water. That's really fucking ironic. A damp rug falls off my head and some of the water in the mug. I read that. Murdoch is stirring something to a large barrel, and Sam gives me a withering look, holding the mug of water that's just lost some of its contents. What's going on? Thankful that my voice is back. We're drawing you a bath. 'Cause you stink. I want to say there's no time to bathe, because Caldwell's dead and there's no telling who else could be next. Why are you upset about him being dead, dude? That dude fucking deserved it. I'm fucking glad he died that way. I protest as Sam lifts me under my arm, shakes his head, and whistles at Murdoch. Forms suds with a rag and a piece of the nice soap with oats in it from his family's store. Is this necessary? If we don't want the whole room to smell like weasel. Ain't any mint perfume gonna cover that. We need purifying soap. Unhand me! Could have died from heat exposure at a cliff. Just let us do something nice for you. So he turns to rub my arms aggressively on my chest, then my neck. This can hardly be considered nice. The next spot with mint scented oil on my whiskers and cheeks, smushing them with abandon. Jeez. Oh boy. Has this thing even happened? Am I just losing my mind? I'm fucking... Are you finished? They both nod. Okay, please listen carefully. I think that animal that hunted us at the camp in the woods, is still stalking us. Oh, I know. Got my leg. Just your leg? You sound disappointed. Well, like impressed, really. You'd, struggle whether I want to tell them or not, but I struggle more to hold this in. It got the Reverend. Oh, God. He's really dead. Didn't see him die explicitly, but somehow I know. He's really dead. He didn't try to attack you. Somehow it didn't even try to break into the shack. It might not have noticed me. Hard not to. He really reeked. She starts to feel off from embarrassment. Can you stop talking about that? About the top of my arms out to dry. Sam and I start to pat me down, growl to get them to step back, but they just start to laugh. Oh man, it's cool seeing him. And of course, Murdoch, he's always cute. That's what it sounds like when a stoat growls. Sam, be nice. Hear that he's on the verge of cracking up too. But I'd find helium take to suck on. I want to scream at them. Let me dress myself. They'll step back. I'm irritated, but they bow. Oh my god. By the time I just slipped my pants, we hear a knock on the door. Hello? Just a moment. I'm sure as quickly as possible. I'm gonna let him in now. My tie's even on. Patiently, the fox pulls open the door. Jeb shovels in and stops, looks from the blisters on my hand to the wrap on Sam's foot. How are y'all getting more injured in this settlement than the journey? Well, that was a rhetorical question. Anyway, I just wanted to bring the news as fast as I heard it. Some of the natives are saying they got the beast that was hunting us on the road. The thing that was following us? Yeah. Turns out it's just a wild hog. Big old territorial hog. No, it's fucking not. And how do you know that? Jib sends me a look. 'Cause they found it goring the Reverend on the road last night the same way it was getting all the other animals. As soon as he says that, I feel the blood drain from my face. I want to see it. You sure about that? Might be a bit too sensitive for carnage like that done to a person. No, I'm quite sure. Show me. Murdoch grabs his camera. I want to be sure, too. Only one who isn't moving much is Sam. I'll catch up with y'all. I just want to manage some things. Don't take too long. Won't be on far down the road. Bend to their two leave the room and then walk up to Sam. Bend down to sneak him a kiss. Look surprised. What was that for? It's just my way of saying thank you. More than ever. Arches the back of his head bashfully and chews me with his paw. Go on and get. Like I said, I just need some time. Won't be long. I blushed up the door. Not much feeling the blisters on my hands right now. Yeah, that was my thought immediately. Oh boy. There's no goddamn way that thing was a wild hog. Hogs are something you can see. They don't go invisible all of a sudden or monsters in photographs. Whatever's out there still has to be out there. I want to check again to see how far Camp Rosa is. Search my backpack and pull up the map, unwinding it. My confidence plummets again. The journey looks almost as long as the one from Echo. Yeah, because this time you have to go around mountains and like to get from here to there you'd have to like go through this area and up. That would take too long. That journey looks almost as long as the one from Echo, but if it's farther away, maybe that means it's safer. Roll it up again and put it back. Once I'm outside, it's not very hard to see where I need to go. Followed the group of people arranged in a large circle in the middle of the road. What's ahead is one of the strangest sights I've seen in my journey yet. The bear Yiska sit on top of what I first thought was an old sequoia tree stump, but the closer I look, the bark becomes herons.
I'm still waiting on that front.
Sorry about that, guys. Someone opened the door without asking or even knocking. Whatever, not a big deal, right? He's chatting with others in the Macedo language, although it sounds like he has a slight lisp he hadn't heard before, as if he had a tongue injury. He's holding onto his spear in his left hand that punctured beneath the jaws of the great pig, and Sayla sitting next to him, comfortable. There is also a tablecloth soaked in red over her patch, which I assume must be the Reverend. Starting to wonder whether or not what we had to run into in the forest really was just a big old pissed off hog. I suspected maybe we're hallucinating due to natural gases. As I thought about this, I know something strange. Don't see any guards around. Just our travel group and Masada townsfolk. Working right to this, something else sneaks up on me. It's the sound of a car. It's pulling up behind me. I turn to look, it stops, and two people come out of the car. I didn't want to see your fucking face in this route, but okay. First I can recognize immediately. It's James Hendricks. But the other I can't make out till I hear him. Oh, for fuck's sake. Really? He has to be here too? This fucking ass, this is, ugh. Guess what the hell are you doing here? Yeah, that's definitely a question. I just realized how, Cliff 4, this one. The last one was in February. Jeez. That was a while ago, alright. Yep, that's a while ago. Yeah, good project, man, all that garbage. You let people to work on it. Great job, everybody. Blah blah blah. So that was Cliff's latest update, and that was a lot. More perspective changes this time with Cliff, obviously, and I really like the POV switches. They're way more interesting than what Echo was doing with just one perspective. I really wish we'd gotten more of that in Echo, but you know, it's cool. It's still a good VN. Honestly, though, Cliff is really characterized well. I like him a lot. There was some great moments there. That was also really satisfying moment where fucking Dick Cheese was finally killed, finally got what he deserved, the bastard. God, I hope it was painful. I hope he fucking suffered. Fucking cocksucker. Cocksucking bigot. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah. I really like this update as usual. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, really. This is par for the course with Echo, so, you know, whatever. Echo Games, I mean, the Smoke Room is the only one left to be finished. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, this is the only Echo game that is like yet to complete, at least in like the Echo Echoverse. So that's really interesting. When this is over, that's it. No more Echo. Honestly, really sad, but also I'm glad they're not going to milk it. Don't need sequelitis going on with this series. That would really suck. Anyway, thanks for watching, fuckers. It's now 7:54 p.m. on June 19th, 2023. Yeah, whatever. See ya. Bye bye, fuckers.